James Kaufman, World News Report today. See if we get a feed here. Looks like we got a feed. James Kaufman, World News Report today. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. All right, Dave Miller, hey, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Look, guys, I wanted to talk to y'all real quickly before we got going here about October 9th and what an important day it is. It is several Jewish holidays. It is the end of the 70th Jubilee, and it's the same day that, I guess, is it Paul? Describes the heavens, the day of the beginning of the tribulation, and it lines up perfectly with October 9th. I've got biblical scholars all over the world telling me this exact information. Thousands of verses point to October 9th. Guys, that's only about 16, 17 days away. So enjoy the show. It might come to an abrupt end. Hopefully you guys were able to see the propaganda video that Russia just released onto the English people and on X to the U.S. people. Again, James Kaufman, World News Report today. It is September 23rd, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. We're going to do a count on the volcanoes, which we haven't done for a couple of days. So I'll let all you guys out there guess how many volcanoes are in full eruption or minor eruption around the globe. Not according to me, according to volcanodiscovery.denmark. So I'll get to counting and y'all get to guessing. $40. 50. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 67 is where we're at. I think that is our record, and we're tying it right now. But if I'm wrong, if it was 69, let me know. I've forgotten if it's 67 or not. I think that's a record number, at least for the last year, 15 years. Nose erupting. September 23rd, 2024. So 67. Did anyone guess? I guess Tiffany Hartman. I guess 67. I'm kidding. I guess Tiffany Hartman won that. Look at Miss Teresa. She wanted 60. Tiffany Hartman. That's the high. Yeah, I thought it was the high. 67. Well, we could very well go much higher. There's a lot of magma movement, as y'all will see with the volcanic maps, especially around the most volcanic areas around the globe. There's just a lot of magma moving. That's all there is to it. We're about to be in a heck of a good time here, right? Did y'all know that Zelensky was at the plant in Scranton, Pennsylvania? George was out front and sent pictures. He didn't know what was happening. They surrounded the whole plant with garbage trucks, and only to find out Zelensky was there with Governor Josh Shapiro, signing bombs with a Sharpie, like it's a football game that they plan on sending to Russia. What a bad photo shoot. Really pissed me off. Warmongering jackasses stealing money is all they're doing. Now, this is earthquakes from the actual Canadian government. They're the only government. Well, right now, Russia doesn't report. They used to. Right now, China's not reporting. Well, they are if they're getting swarmed, because they're ready to make a move as far as the biggest caldera, 50 times bigger than Yellowstone. We have Wawa Springs. It's 30 times bigger than Yellowstone. Right here in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Colorado. We also have a lot of action out here on the Cascadia subduction zone. Canada is reporting a 2.1 magnitude, a 2.3 magnitude, a 3.0 magnitude. That one even looks smaller. And then all the way on the other side, and this is, I don't know what's going on over here, so I'm not going to pretend to tell you what's going on here. We had an earthquake here, and I've never seen an earthquake there before. 5 kilometers of depth, only a 1.5 magnitude, but a really weird area there. And it's going to be not really salt mines, not oil and gas area. Near Halifax, if anyone from Canada knows it, this is a salt mine. This is a salt mine. This is a salt mine. I don't know what the heck's going on up here. If anyone from that Halifax area does know what's going on, please let me know. And if we're able to see that on the USGS, we'll zoom in with a satellite. All right, over to volcanoesandearthquakes.com. I'll start out at 5.0s. This is the Peruvian-Chilean wedge here. It's got over 22,000 volcanoes, which means they've erupted in the last 10,000 years, which means they're very active. And look at all the volcanoes around the globe in yellow that are awakening. We didn't count those. If just a few of those woke up, just a few of them, we'd be well over 70. The other thing I'd like to say is we're only looking at volcanoes that have broken sea level. They don't report anything below sea level that's actually erupting, but there's hundreds below sea level erupting. Salt water covers 71% of our globe, and every island you see out there has been made by volcanic eruptions under the water. And don't tell me they don't have a satellite that can tell them where the methane is rising, right? Where the methane is rising. So we see a lot of magma movement here, big earthquakes, a 6.1 here, 6.0 by the USGS, and that's going to be right there in Indonesia, folks. Its main source is the Indonesian government, the BMKG. The French came in at a 5.6. Will they just go ahead and give up on World War III? Have they surrendered yet? Greenland up here, we have another sizable quake, a 5.0. And then over here, moving into Japan, right there where we don't want any more trouble, a 5.6, Azu Island, Japan region. It's where the 4 plates, the North American Pacific plate, Eurasia plate, and Indonesia plate meet. And then everyone that watches me knows that there are thousands of volcanoes in the Pacific here. That line just runs from, well, this is the Aleutian Islands, right? That's all volcanoes. And then this line runs from Russia. Come here. We got 1, 2, 3. There might be one awakening behind there. 4, 5, 6, 7 volcanoes up on the Russian peninsula. Where does that end up? These are all volcanoes. It ends up right there where we now have Kilauea in full eruption. We probably should check that out. And we will do that right now, as a matter of fact, because it wasn't erupting when I checked it out the other day. Let's check that out because they have a live feed. Let's see what the eruption looks like if it's in full eruption. And they have Kilauea come up first. Isn't that funny? All right. It really is erupting. Only 22 people watching plus us. This is live, and I'm just not feeling it. This is what I saw the other day. This is live, so this is older information from earlier today, I guess. This thing's on and off, and Mauna Loa could be on and off as well at any moment. All right, let's get back to volcanoes and earthquakes.com. I'm just going to show y'all. We have a good idea of where all the volcanoes are. Well, gosh, I could work with the. Is the canvas the right size now? If Mike's back, is Mike back? Everybody's safe. Good to see you. I don't even see Dr. J. I don't see a single comment from Dr. Joy. I must not be able to see them. Oh, family made it back. Future, bad deal. Sorry, Dr. Joy. Good to see you, bro. Not a good day, right? All right. Let's get going here. Look, if I just hit the 4.0s, look how active the magma movement is, especially around this largest caldera on Earth, second largest in the solar system. So much magma moving around Indonesia, so much magma moving in between Tofu, Fiji, and New Zealand, so much magma everywhere. I don't know if the powers that be aren't noticing. I guess they are noticing. Look at all these huge quakes from Mexico City all the way through Central America, which is all part of North America, of course. Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, then into Costa Rica, into Panama, into Colombia. We have some action over in Venezuela, although it's been light. Looks like we've got some quakes right here, just north of Venezuela here. And see if there's anything else we need to talk about. Most everything is magma moving. These are surprising with these two volcanoes here that haven't done anything except for be awakening for 3 years now. All right, I'm going to show them all. Now, hold on. Look at what the world looks like. Look at what the world looks like. Tell me we're not going to see some volcanoes waking up on the West Coast? I think they want to tell us right now, and they don't know how to. I really do. But I don't think that this is going to be the fire and brimstone, although it might be a combo of what the Bible talks about. I think that that's man-made fire and brimstone. It's going to be sent over by Russia to the U.S. when we give them those long-range missiles. And the first one fires over there, I think that they will launch nuclear weapons. Hopefully tactical nuclear weapons, but maybe not. Yeah, see that. We'll look at Hartford. Hartford is such a cesspool. I don't know of one nuclear power plant that's ever been reclaimed. Reclaimed means back to the type of soil and water surrounding it that it was before they ruined it with a nuclear power plant. I don't know how anyone can call nuclear energy clean energy. It just doesn't work for me. I thought I was somewhat intelligent, and I thought the people in Japan were somewhat intelligent, but they live on so many volcanic ridges to be building all these new nuclear power plants right now. There's a nuclear power plant right here now, right by this exploding volcano. And look at this area here. One of the places that the plates don't even touch here, and another one here under Yokohama. Another one right here under Yokohama. And this is going to be Fukushima. Look, Fukushima. They still haven't even grabbed the rods yet. They can't. They continue to go towards the center of the earth. No one knows what's going to happen when that happens, okay? They have 16 rods headed down towards the center of the Earth, more and more melting the core each year. And they're still having to continue to pour ocean water down there every day to keep them cool. And that ocean water then becomes nuclear waste. And then they pour it back into the Pacific, which has ruined my Alaskan cod, my favorite fish in the whole world. Now I'm afraid to eat it. The last time I did, I got so sick, I thought I was going to die. Really pisses me off. They opened up their own nuclear commission to do it. Slime balls, like all of them. That's why they had to kill the prime minister. He was a good guy. Remember him? They had to get rid of him so they could pour that nuclear waste in the water. We do see that fault that's formed in 1 year's time in between Syria and Turkey is almost finished. And I told y'all all that energy is going to be pushed over here, or already is being pushed over here into the Aegean Sea near Greece. One of these islands, and there are many of them. I'll show you how many. They're all volcanoes, but one of them, we're going to see a huge quake, like no quake seen before in history, maybe a 10.0. Do y'all know that the biggest quake we've ever seen is a 9.6, and a 9.7 would be 10 times larger than a 9.6. That's how the scale works. So this is biblical. The tidal wave, all the armies have already pretty much surrounded Jerusalem. And this fault's pretty much finished, which is going to push all the pressure into this area. And we will see very soon a 200 foot, I'm guessing 100 meter, 350 foot tidal wave. I don't know, but it's in the Bible and it's going to happen. The Bible seems like a playbook now, man. Everything it says comes true. It's unbelievable. You can tell we're in the end of times. A 2.0 in Norway at 0.0. We had Finland today. The Prime Minister of Finland, of course, Finland's the fallen angels that everyone worships. Even the people from Saudi Arabia bow to this king over there. Well, the Prime Minister came out and said that the West, being the U.S. and the UK, better green light the long-range nukes. I'm thinking, well, lady, this is Russia. You're here. What are your chances of survival? They'll have nuclear weapons on you. This is their biggest base, the White Sea right here, in like 30 seconds. You won't even be able to say bye to your children. What is wrong with you, lady? What is wrong with you? We've got this swarm here in La Palma. The first swarm we've seen in La Palma, which indicates what? Tiffany knows. We have one of these volcanoes awakening here again. This is all going to be part of La Palma, Spain. And then Azores Islands, we have one awakening volcano, part of Portugal. Again, that Aegean Sea. All you got to do is look at it. All right, let's move along. Move along. Nothing to see here. I wonder why this looks so bad. See if I can adjust this a little bit. All right, let's see if I can do it. This is the big quake of the day. The USGS is calling it a 6.0, 149 kilometers in depth. Some of the other agencies, including the Indonesian, called it a 6.1, 6.2. I probably should have reported that quake. I just have been so busy with interviews today and things of this nature. So, a 5.6 here, right there, going right. I mean, not even 10 miles from the nuclear power plant they just finished building. It's such a nightmare when you look at it. The USGS doesn't cover much in any country but the U.S., but they do a really good job here in the U.S., and they don't cover anything in Canada. You can see nothing's been covered. I wanted to go in and see what this was over here, but Canada doesn't even give their information to the U.S. Hopefully after Trudeau, you'll have to know that Wednesday, Trudeau's at the United Nations WEF meeting in New York City, and Wednesday, they have a vote of non-confidence. They do on Macron as well. You know what's going on? All the WF far left liberal leaders are falling one after another as quick as pie. They're falling. So they're willing to start nuclear war instead of lose power when they're already all millionaires and billionaires. They could go the rest of their life without ever needing a thing, but they still can't give up the power. All right, tell me this. Do y'all see the bear here with his mouth open? And then the eagle here with the two wings and the beak? And the bear's eyes, nose, and his mouth open? The bear and the eagle. Gonna get ugly, especially up in the Arctic Circle. Y'all get ready to rumble. We can see that around Mount Hayes and Mount Spur, and this right here is Anchorage, that little town right there. We've got a lot of activity. We have a little swarm going on here. I don't know if that's Spur or Hayes. They've both gone off 3 times, full eruptions in 29 years, and we haven't seen a peep out of them. Look at all these, they call them seamounds. What do y'all think another name for a seamound is? Of course, another name for a seamound is a underwater volcano. Of course, we don't get to see anything happening because of Trudeau's privacy policies. Why wouldn't they share that information with the rest of the world? Very freakish, as usual. Looks like we've got a little action over here. We saw action here yesterday. Look at 0.1 kilometers, very close to the surface. You'll notice here they're allowing blasting. And what do I always teach y'all for 5 years now? You're going to always see blasting to the what? Northwest of what they're worried about. They're worried about Yellowstone right now. So they're allowing some blasting, probably done by the USGS itself here. And this is craters of the moon right here. This is craters of the moon right here. This is called the Snake River Caldera. And that's the Snake River Canyon that Evel Knievel did not quite jump either time on his jet motorcycle. I think it was just for fun. I don't even know if he really broke a bone. Nothing on Rainier, nothing on Mount St. Helens, nothing on Adams, nothing on Hood, the Seven Sisters coming down, nothing. Could be worse. This is the biggest geothermal plant in the country, and we're talking about Clear Lake Volcanic Range. This is the Clear Lake. This is the city of Clear Lake. Cobb Mountain is owned by, right now owned by Calpine, probably its 26th owner. I don't know why no one wants it, because it produces more energy than God. I don't know about that, but anybody want to guess? If you work there, I need 2 numbers. How many? I've seen up to 89. I've seen a 5.8 or a 5.9 while working there in 24 hours. 89 earthquakes. Now, this doesn't look like anywhere near that number, but I would work there for $450,000 a year. I would want like 3-day, 13-hour work week. And I'd probably double it up into a 6-day, over 2 weeks, and then go home for 8. Try to get that rumbling out of me. Because even when you're sleeping, you're going to be getting an earthquake at least once an hour. Sometimes 4 or 5 times an hour, just depending. I'm going to come up with a number. Mike Johnson, that looks like a pretty good number to me. Let's see what y'all got. Y'all guess this is the biggest geothermal plant in the world. It's called Geyser's Geothermal Plant. There was a bigger one in Iceland, but it got engulfed by the last, Rickajane's volcano engulfed it. So, let's see. I'm going to go 27 and 450. Cutting you off at the 450K. You're going to take 500K? Now, of course, I haven't had time to look here. I hope y'all watched the simulation that Russia put together give me a thumbs up if y'all watched the simulation that Russia put together to kind of warn the citizens how this was going to play out. As soon as they get a long-range missile fired into northern Russia, which we've already hit Moscow with supposedly drones, but I'm guessing they weren't drones, and I'm guessing they had U.S. satellite help, right? Like from M Labs or whatever. So this is getting scary. And trust me, I saw Putin yelling. He's not playing around with you guys. He could take Kiev out. I showed y'all Kiev last night. It's a beautiful city. Everyone's out on the street having fun like there's no war. Everyone's got Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Range Rovers. It makes any city in the U.S. look like a hellhole while we're sending hundreds of millions of dollars over there. I'm so confused. Putin said with one blast, I can take out all of Kiev, and he's right. Now, I think that there's some, honest to God, some cathedrals and castles over there. They're thousands of years old with gold inlay that he's trying not to take out. He has no interest in Kiev. There's no natural gas in Kiev or on the western side of the country. The reason we want to keep the war going is because he already controls all the area where all the natural gas is, and there's said to be around 12 trillion with a T dollars worth of natural gas over there. And you know what America is? Greedy. 29. I was trying to see if more would come. 27. Did I win? Whoa. I think I won. Hey, Catherine, how are you? I think I won, guys. Y'all tell me. They're just greedy. We got enough oil and gas here to last 200 years, and we'll figure something else by then, but they're going to have to kill us all before they lose power. So look, Canada is reporting like no fires. We got one little fire here and one little fire here in the Yellowknife Northwest Territory, and one little fire here on the border going into Montana and Idaho, and that's it. That's all they're reporting, but we're not getting the same information off of our GOES satellite imagery. I will say that it looks like y'all got hit by a cold front with a lot of water in it. Let's see if I can get a good zoom. These are all brand new fires in orange and red here, and over into Washington State. This is damn close to Dr. Joey here. Dr. Joey, you got a little fire starting up over here. Happened today, the 23rd. Let's hope that's controlled pretty soon. Right there, southwest of Mount Rainier. It looks like it's right on Mount St. Helens. Is it? It looks like it's right on Mount St. Helens. Oh, there's Mount St. Helens down there. But I don't see the fire anymore. Okay, it's in between. That's Adams. That's Rainier there. Glacier Peak. These are all fires that have already been put out. We see new fires here, and let's see if we have mostly contained. I think they got a cold front. They're getting another one, 100% contained, 48% contained, 115,000 acres. Down here, 162,000 acres, only 59% contained. There's barely anything to burn here. It looks like it's already burnt. Contained, again, they got lots of rain. They're getting two more huge cold fronts that we're going to look at in just a second. Contained, this is the 429 contained, and these are the new fires. And of course, once we get into Los Angeles and the valley here, there's tons of new fires in orange and red. When you go in just a little, the big three fires, we still have two of them going. The airport incident still burning, and so is the line incident still burning. I believe this fire has been put out, but it got so close to Hollywood, it's unbelievable. There was barely any way out of LA, maybe North 1, but it collapsed up here by Malibu. So A1A, I guess A1. I guess A1A is Florida. I've done them both the whole way. Yes, anytime the animals are running, they sense it long before you. And you know, it starts with the birds. The birds will leave first because they can go quicker than everyone else. When you see the birds start to go and you don't hear the birds chirping, you might as well start running. All right. I'm going to go ahead and see if there's anything else in the U.S. here. Wawa Springs, this huge shield volcano. 3 new ones. See if there's any old ones burning still. Super small stuff. I can't believe it never caught fire. Here's 2 more, 5 new ones. This is a real problematic area of Wawa Springs. It's well, I used to live in Grand Junction. Believe it or not, nowhere anyone wants to live, but when I was very young in the oil and gas business, I was there for at least 6 months. So I know it well. I know it too well, with no restaurants and no grocery stores, right? Grand Junction. They have a old-timey train that comes there. Some people know Grand Junction. All right. The dark red is our new Landsat. This is where it goes, tells us all the fires are today. And look, I put it on the last 24 hours here. So either Canada's lying to us, right? Or NASA's lying to us, or a combination of both. And I pick C. Again, I try to pick up just the last 24 hours. We see a lot of, this is all Canada here. We saw a little bit here, remember? Saw a little bit up here, but nothing like GOES is showing us. Look at Idaho on GOES, and then look around Yellowstone on GOES, almost in a circle. Some big fires. Each one of these icons is 404 hectares or 1,000 acres or larger. And I don't see the unique fire pattern that we usually see in the New Madrid here. See the New Madrid? There's usually a unique fire pattern that only covers the New Madrid. Not seeing that today. I'm seeing Oregon and really Washington State pick up, but not really on the coast, more so in the central part on the right side of the Cascadias. There's really no volcanoes there. This is all magma flow here that you see. And then Los Angeles, they're saying they have some big fires. That's going to be the airport fire and the ones that we just went over. Those are the big 3, right? The big 3. All right, 24 hours. Go satellite. Let's see if there's really not that pattern on the New Madrid. You can see there's a lot of heat over in the eastern part of the world here, especially they're probably heating this area up because this is where they want the storm to go. They're trying to turn Florida blue no matter what they have to do. If they have to shut it down for the vote, we're going to have a Cat 6. I know there's no such thing. Cat 6 hurricane come through there, okay? If that can possibly help them out. They won't do that to Texas because all these Gulf Coast towns like Houston are all blue. Now, they never were, but they are now. They imported all these fools from towns they ruined. And I mean inside the U.S. and outside the U.S. All right. We've always wondered why there's never any fires. If you go right here on the equator, watch my Latin line up here. Latitude's this way. Longitude's up and down. Let's find zero. There's 0 lat. And you'll see that most of the fires. Let's see if we can get in there and get a 0 lat. Yeah, look. Look up on top right. That's the line. Most of your fires are north or south, but most of them are really south of the equator. Although I told y'all so many times, 90% of all human beings live at 30 degrees north, which is right here. 90% live at 30 degrees north, Well, that's going to take half of India, most of China, all of China, all of Russia, all of Europe. 90% of individuals live at 30 degrees north latitude or further north. Is the Earth flat? I'll let y'all figure that out. This is the new shitty version. I mean, how do you get the old version back? They gave you the information. They didn't like me. I was the only one using it, too. This really gives you nothing. We see the air quality all around the Gulf Coast states here. Atlanta, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. Very poor air quality, and then the Central Valley, and then all the way up through LA into the Central Valley. The rest of it looks pretty good, but I can't see where they're moving their 30 mobile units anymore, because they've taken that feature away. Why would they do that? Because we were using it to predict where the next fire would be, and they were using them to go after volcanoes that were heating up. They know, I know, okay? That's what was happening right there. All right, this is also PM 2.5, and for those of you that don't know, PM 2.5 is the deadliest particulate known to man. It's a gaseous state. It's so small, it's 2.5 nanometers, and it's so small it can break the blood-brain barrier. In 2016, they determined that there was no safe level of PM 2.5, not even 1 nanogram per meter cubed. None. And now they're trying to push off that 30 is okay. Well, all the studies at WHO organization, the World Health Organization, and the International Research Association on Cancer say that just 10 nanograms per meter cubed of PM 2.5, and that's 30, increases your lung cancer percentage, just 10, by 36%. And look at, this is one of the cool fronts coming in that we'll take a look at. It's coming in much higher than the ones that have come in so far, but it's still spinning the wrong way. It's spinning like a low. What is going on in the world? Do y'all not see the eye of the rotation here? It's evident. It's an upper level low or subtropical low. What a really big freak show we're seeing here. Now, we're getting all the PM 2.5 out of these volcanoes, which is probably causing this, along with the sand dust storms coming off the Sierra. And I know they just opened that nuclear power plant back up in Georgia. That's probably helping Georgia make sure that they're killing their people good too. Almost 20 nanograms per meter cubed in Georgia there. They, I think, are just juicing that thing up, get it going. They now also want to reopen 3 Mile Island as of today. I mean, just blow it up. Quit playing with us. Quit playing with us. Just blow it up. Obviously, the rainforest fire is causing all that, PM 2.5. We've got volcanoes that cause it, wildfires that cause it, dust storms, nuclear, and heavy industrial. That's all on the list. That's all I can find. We have increased levels since 2016, 8 or 9 years ago, by 100 times. And they said that there was no safe level at that point, and they thought that they could blame over 4 million deaths worldwide in 2016 on just this particulate. All right. We already have ourselves a little tropical cyclone on our hands here. 35 mile per hour sustained winds. Look at that central pressure. 1,002 millibars minimum central pressure. Headed north-northwest right through the gap. Probably going to be picked up. I don't know. That cool front backed up and didn't hit where I'm at. So it might come right through to Texas. I went and filled my car up. This is looking, we're going to look at it on AI in just a second, but this is looking like it's going to be a Thursday event, perhaps. And today, by the way, is Monday. So, We're all nanogrammed. We had that crap. The symptoms are so similar to the COVID. It is unbelievable. Now we have another storm here, 70% chance of formation. I am guessing that it's going to move north and maybe hit Canada, but I don't even know if it's going to hit Canada. It might turn around and head towards Ireland and the United Kingdom. We'll look at this is the official National Hurricane Model for, I guess it's not Invest 97L anymore. It is, they give it a tropical cyclone number 9. So it looks like it'll be a category 1 here by Wednesday, moving extremely fast to cover this much ground by Thursday, coming in right at Panama City, right to the west of Tallahassee, the capital there. This is not going to be good. Panama City's been hit by so many of these in the last 2 or 3 years. And, I mean, I hate to say it, but I hope it does go that way, because we've had ours this year for sure. I'm going to show y'all first, this is also another tropical depression and storm cyclone over here that's formed, and they're going into Mexico. I think they're going to jump across to the Gulf. What if they meet? Just watch. I've never seen them go into Mexico from the Pacific. They always go out to sea, right? Always. This is the name system. This one's got a damn eye on it. It's just the last 2 hours. And this started out here, and it's moving over Mexico. If it can make the jump, this moisture, or be picked up by this moisture here, we could have like a super hurricane where every state in the U.S. and Mexico gets hit in the Gulf of Mexico here. And I'm not playing around here. That's where we're headed with this. Look at these. And there's a third one under the hurricane deal here. All right. These are the latest computer models, and I think this is going to be as of 9:30 tonight. And that's probably going to be about now. About an hour ago, about an hour and 10 minutes ago. They've got them going further and further over to the right, and I told y'all that might happen per this front coming through. You would think that the wind shear would, break this thing up, but they have it intensifying into a Cat 3, maybe a Cat 4 before landfall, right? Before landfall. Zelensky. Did he have his heels on? His high heels on. All right, I want y'all to concentrate on this. It's spinning the wrong way, subtropical low. I don't know why all the other weathermen don't notice this or don't say something. We've never ever seen until this year high pressure fronts, which it's really not a high pressure, it's a low. They name it a low, and as soon as it gets into the U.S., they change the lows into highs. They just changed the line from red to blue and put H's instead of L's. It's nuts, man. All right, I'm going to run. Remember, we have this that might cross over in the Gulf. We've got this going on. This northeasterly was picking on Boston, New York, but I think it's going to go off over the pond, and this is probably going to spread out and be what saves our butts. Or this. Let's watch. We're at windy.com, looking at their AI, and we can see that thing. Look at that. Oh, by tomorrow it's going to have a beautiful eye. And that storm wants to cross over Mexico. Look at it, but it just gets caught up on the coast, it looks like. Look at that eye. Didn't get touched. The hurricane didn't get touched. It's going to take out all of Florida. And look up on the top left, coming into Canada, Washington State, 100-mile-per-hour plus winds. But spinning the wrong way. It's spinning the same way as the hurricane. Watch the hurricane go up the coast through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, into PA. Doesn't look very good from here. All right. I did tell y'all that we're looking for, and I don't want to bring bad news to any of you guys, but the end of the 70th Jubilee is going to be, if you know when the year starts, it's going to be on the 9th of October. That's also the 9th of October is also several Jewish holidays. We'll have to get them out. See what the 9th is here. Let's see. Is this 2004? It is. All right. So they have it. Whoa, excuse me. I guess it's going to be. And I am not very familiar with the Jewish holidays. Let me agree to terms of service so we might get a little bit better information. And how do you get to the next one? October. All right, so the 9th of Tishrei, and we're kind of in the middle here of Rosh Hashanah. We're in the middle of Yom Kippur Eve, Yom Kippur on the 12th, and then Sukkot here, Sukkot. And these are all Jewish holidays here. But the day that sticks out for some reason, based on, I guess it's Paul's explanation of the day that he sees the fire and brimstone coming down on the people, it looks like it's going to be this day right here. That might be a day that we're hit by meteors, or it might be a day that Russia's had enough. We've already fired the first missile, and they decide to strike back. You know, Moscow's been hit several times by small drones, etc., but you know they had U.S. intelligence and U.S. help to do so, period. I don't know why these people can't be content with $100 million or $100 billion or whatever they have, but they cannot be content, period. And 5-7 is a special situation here. This all has to do with the 8th and 9th day. Believe it or not, show mercy on the 8th. Now, I might have this off the 8th day. I might be off a day. So, the 144,000 sealed Pentecostal, 12 tribes, 12-day delay. So, we're going to see. We're going to see. I think more than we want to, on October 9th, if I've got this right, it might be the 8th, but we're going to see far more. Along Jerry, he's bringing a bag of money, full moon, he'll come home. When is the full moon? Is that the 18th of October? I believe it is. And see, this is the 49th year of the 70th Jubilee, and that is 2024. And Rosh Hashanah falls on the Day of Atonement this year, right? And on the Feast of Trumpets, an independent event that always falls on New Moon Day on the 7th month, which is again October in the Jewish calendar. Y'all get ready to party. We're going to let Miss Teresa read from the Bible now, but we are going to be back with a quick space weather update after this, and I hope y'all join us. We've had another Earth-directed solar flare in CME that we will cover. If Miss Teresa is with us, we're going to go ahead and do this a little bit early so we can come back and have a space weather update for the day. Is Miss Teresa out there with us today? Guys, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be. How many times have y'all seen me wrong before? And trust me, I want to be wrong. James Kaufman, World News Report today. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Hi.
Miss Teresa, we're live here on YouTube. I need your permission to take you live.
You have it.
All right. Well, I have to go back tomorrow.
For the good news?
I don't know. They want me back tomorrow, though. I had to go in today, full suit and everything. That's why I'm exhausted. And I'm trying to get some sleep early because they want me back in tomorrow to meet some more.
News, honey.
Meet some more people, right? The good news. I don't know if I only have 15, 16 days to live. I might not want to go to work at 5 in the morning. So with that said, Miss Teresa, you've got some good news for us, I know, as always.
Samuel.
Ma'am?
I opened our Bible to 1 Samuel.
Wow, I've never heard of that. Samuel is my grandfather's name, but I didn't know that was a Bible book even. 1 Samuel?
Uel.
Okay.
Chapter 17.
17. Wow. I can tell you we haven't read it because nothing comes up and I've never even heard of it. NIV.
Yes, sir.
And make sure we're at the same spot here. Is it David and Goliath?
It really is.
Wow. I really don't know anything about the Bible. All right, I'm going to let Miss Teresa take it away. Y'all give her a thumbs up, guys.
Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war, and they assembled at Soko and Judah. They pitched camp at Ephes Dammon between Soko and Azekah. Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. The Philistines occupied one hill and the Israelites another, with the valley in between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out from the Philistine camp. He was over 9 feet tall. He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he wore a coat of scale armor and bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield bearer went ahead of him. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. If I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Then the Philistines said, "This day I defy the ranks of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all of the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Now David was the son of Ephratite named Jesse, who was from Bethlehem in Judah. Jesse had 8 sons, and in Saul's time he was old and well advanced in years. Jesse's 3 oldest sons had followed Saul to the war. The firstborn was Eliab, the second Abinadab, the third Shammah. David was the youngest. The 3 oldest followed Saul, but David went back and forth from Saul to tend to his father's sheep at Bethlehem. For 40 days the Philistine came forward every morning and evening and took his stand. Now Jesse said to his son David, "Take this ephah of roasted grain and those 10 loaves of bread for your brothers, and hurry up to their camp. Take along these 10 cheese to the commander of their unit. See how your brothers are, and bring back some assurance from them." They were with Saul and all of the men of Israel in the valley of Elah, fighting against the Philistines. Early in the morning, David left the flock with the shepherd. He loaded up and he set out to Jesse had directed him to do. He reached the camp as the army was going out to the battle in the positions, shouting the war cry. Israel and Philistines were drawing up their lines facing each other. David left his things with the keeper of the supplies. He ran to the battle lines and he greeted his brothers. As he was talking to them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, stepped out from his lines and shouted his usual defiance, and David heard it. When the Israelites saw the man, they all ran from him in great fear. Now the Israelites had been saying, "Do you see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and will exempt his father's family from taxes." David asked the man standing near him, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" They repeated to him what they had been saying and told him, "This is what will be done for the man who kills him." When Eliab, David's oldest brother, heard him speaking with the men, he burned with anger at him and he asked him, "Why have you come down here? And with whom did you leave those sheep with in the desert? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch this battle." "Now what have I done?" said David. "I can't even speak." He then turned away, and someone else brought up the same matter, and the men answered him as before. What David said was overheard and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him. David said to Saul, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and he will fight him." Saul replied, "You are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a boy, and he has been a fighting man all of his life." But David said to Saul, "Your servant has been keeping your father's sheep when a lion or a bear came and he carried off a sheep from the flock. I went after it, I struck it, I rescued my sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, I struck it and I killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul said to David, "Go then, and the Lord be with you." Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. He put a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. David fastened on his sword over his tunic, and he tried walking around because he was not used to them. I cannot go in these, he said to Saul, because I'm not used to them. So he took them all off, and he took his staff in his hand. He chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, and he put them in his pouch of his shepherd's bag. And with his sling in his hand, he approached the Philistine. Meanwhile, the Philistine, who his shield bearer in front of him, kept coming closer to David. He looked David over, saw that he was only a boy, ruddy and handsome, and he despised him. He said to David, "Am I a dog, and you come at me with sticks?" And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. "Come here," he said, "and I'll give you flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field." David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, of God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will hand you over to me, and I'll strike you down, and I'll cut off your head. Today I will give the carcasses of this Philistine army to the birds of the air and the beasts of the earth, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword, not by spear, that the Lord saves us, for this battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." As the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly towards the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it, and he struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, without a sword in his hand. He struck down the Philistine, and he killed him. David ran and stood over him. He took hold of the Philistine's sword, and he drew it from the scabbard. After he killed him, he cut off his head with that sword. When the Philistines saw that their hero was dead, they turned and they ran. Then the men of Israel and Judah surged forward with a shout and pursued the Philistines to the entrance of Gath and to the gates of Ekron. Their dead were strewn along the Sharon to Gath and Ekron. With the Israelites returned from the chasing of the Philistines, they plundered their camp. David took the Philistine's head, and he brought it to Jerusalem, and he put the Philistine's weapon in his own tent. As Saul watched David going out to meet the Philistine, he said to Abner, commander of the army, "Abner, whose son is that young man?" Abner replied, "As surely as you live, O king, I don't know." The king said, "Find out whose son this man is." As soon as David returned from killing the Philistine, Abner took him, and he brought him before Saul, and David still holding the Philistine's head. He said, "Whose son are you, young man?" Saul answered him. David said, "I am the son of your servant Jesse of Bethlehem." Amen.
I wonder if that's Jesus of Bethlehem.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, what a great read. What a great job you did. Thank you. It was great. Now I'll never forget the ins and outs of this story. I've only had the footnotes, but...
Yeah, because the Philistines are the immigrants, or, they're all on one mountain, and the Israelites are on the mountain of God, right?
I'm gonna guess, because they're not circumcised, that they're probably Islamic. And I probably shouldn't say that, but that's what that points to in my head. If I'm wrong, y'all tell me I'm wrong. I can take it. Trust me.
I'm thinking they're the giants.
The fallen ones?
Yes.
Well,
He's 9 feet 6 inches tall, so he's a giant.
Did you see the Prime Minister of Finland, who everyone bows to the king and queen and their triplet daughters, come out and say that she's green-lighted long-range missiles? I'm thinking, lady.
That whole report made me cry.
You know that she, guys, only has 15% of support right now in all of the country? 15.7%, and she's going to lose her position. They're all losing their positions, and they're going to do this because of that, is what's going on. Everyone's turning against this WFUN crap. Everyone in every country. And we might be the last, because we're pretty much the last ones to be affected by it. In the Christian world, I'll put it like that. But I was flabbergasted to see how either stupid she is, or the fact that she only had 15.7% of approval, and maybe she just was going to go out. And they always say, I'm going to burn the city down with me or whatever on the Joker. And that's what Elon Musk said on that video I showed earlier today.
We just read about Elon.
Right.
He was in our reading.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Ekron?
Yeah, same name.
Right. Well, I always told y'all that no man can be your savior. And
He's on our side of the mountain.
He's on our side?
No, he's not.
I already know that. I've been teaching all that for how many years? 3, 4 years?
Yep.
But I already know just because I was told. It's not that I'm some kind of genius or something. Although, wait, I am. Or was. Long ago.
Everything's the same now as it was then.
Nothing has changed. And, God made, and I forget the book, but I've been watching a lot lately. But God made everyone a watcher. And one of his things, he says, I hereby make everyone a watcher.
It's so important to stay positive. Try to keep hope and faith in the forefront of everything else that's going on.
And that's it. I do it. I keep the faith and keep the deeds, but it's hard. It's hard.
It is.
When you're paying
it's the same for all. It's all
$10 for a gallon of milk and $5 for eggs that used to be like 50 cents.
Our eggs are
$8.
Yeah, you better have some chickens.
Hey, I mean that's a lot. What do you get? 12 eggs? That's the whole thing used to be $1 or less. Now it's $1 per egg. Wow.
Well, I know you're going to go in tomorrow for good news.
Well,
and sending much love to everyone.
We love Miss Teresa. Everybody give her a thumbs up and thank her. I saw y'all's vote. Y'all are pretty. All on the, we could talk about negative things like P. Diddy. I gave you all the choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gave you all the choice. Y'all decided to talk about.
I'm not interested in any freakouts.
Freak out? That's how you know it better than me. You freak out. I was going to show y'all everybody. If you type in freak out, you can see all the stars on Twitter. We'll do that tomorrow.
Thanks. I'm not interested.
Right.
They're all awful people. Just awful.
Well, see, I never knew anything like this was really happening until Comet Ping Pong came out. And then I proved to myself that was real. That was a real deal. So after that.
You sure did. I love you. Thanks for the call.
Lots of
Good
love.
night, everyone.
God bless you. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank Miss Teresa, guys. That was awesome reading. I'll be back. It only took me like 5 minutes because it's all in a folder. And I'll be back. Please share our videos. Please watch some of our videos from today. Give us a thumbs up if they'll let you, right? And if not, we'll be back here in about, for sure at 11:30. Maybe before that if we can. God bless. Share and subscribe. Always remember, Anything's possible. Bizarro world.